5 days ago, each of us entered these halls with great expectations. Searching for peace in the world was our goal. Our love, respect, and friendship for one another were the foundation of our beliefs. We were seeking ways and means to build on that foundation through service for mankind to achieve our goal of peace. During our days here, we have spoken in many languages. Some of these may have been impossible to understand by others. But the spoken word matters little when the languages of friendship, of courtesy, of warmth and care seem to permeate everywhere. The mutual respect and confidence of one another has truly compensated for the absence of understanding the spoken word. And as I kept meeting with so many of you on so many occasions, I often thought of the motto of the United States of America on its seal, E pluribus unum. I hope I got that right. Which means, out of many, one. And that's just what we seem to be. Many lands, many languages, many people, but one purpose. We're all leaving from here tomorrow. But tonight, I would like to ask you, will you be leaving here fully aware of your roles and responsibilities? Are you confident to communicate and motivate the Rotarians of your district to reach within, to embrace humanity? Are you ready to carry out our program for the coming year? Have you understood the significance of your leadership role as district governor? Are you ready to lead your district to the most memorable year of your and their lives? Wonderful. All of us tonight, over 1,300 Rotarians and spouses representing more than 200 Rotary countries and regions have traveled here from all over the globe. The collective Rotary experience here tonight possibly exceeds 100 centuries, and that is certainly impressive. But the length of involvement each one brings here tonight matters far less than the depth of the commitment and the courage we bring to our role as leaders during the coming year. Now, from what I have seen from all of you, I believe we shall leave here tonight fully aware that we share a common dream within each one of us, so that we can love our families, work in our neighborhoods, serve our nations, and embrace the world, striving for peace and a better life for all. To pursue that dream needs all our inner strength, our courage, our commitment, and the spirit of championing change. District governors of 2011 and 12, we will be the change makers for a better tomorrow. As Rotarians, serving others is what we love doing most. We try to reach those in need and do all we can. But as leaders, each one of you today are on your marks to rise to the peaks of your talents, to serve and to lead others. Now is the time to be fully ready, because your year will start soon. And before you realize it, it'll be over as well. Spring is short, and summer will soon be gone. Tagore, India's Nobel laureate poet, lamented in one of his songs, saying, "I have spent my days in stringing and unstringing my instruments. The song that I came to sing remains unsung." I'm sure you will not let that happen with you. You have only 1 year to make your dreams come true. Serve your clubs with commitment, with care, and always with the courage of your convictions. and the work to make the world happier when we are done than when we began. Indeed, the year 2011 and 12 will be the year of the individual Rotarian, the year when we recognize and applaud all that they do for Rotary and for the lives of others whom they do not know and have not ever met. They are the ones that keep Rotary on the move in 34,000 clubs in 200 countries and geographical areas. They are our assets, and it will be our responsibility to ensure we take care of our assets. And so, as you go around to the clubs and meet as many individual Rotarians as you can, please tell them that the time that they give and the work they do make Rotary what it is today. Please tell each one of them that their work is important for their clubs and their communities. And just as the mighty ocean is composed of countless drops of water, tell them too that each act of individual service helps us embrace humanity as a whole for a more peaceful world. That is why in 2011 and 12 we shall recognize leaders and clubs and districts who carry the service of Rotary forward through citations and Changemaker awards at all stages, culminating with the visit of the top doers and achievers at the Bangkok Convention in May of 2012. You did just have a glimpse of the promises of our convention at Bangkok. Let me tell you, this is going to be an event every Rotarian will hate to miss. I promise you that. So come yourselves. Bring all with you. It'll be an affair to remember. This International Assembly, you have had some outstanding addresses and participated in some great discussions. All were equally important to carry Rotary forward. Past President Raja Sabu shone as ever brilliantly as ever with his presentation on leadership. Indeed, leadership is why we have all been here for the past 5 days. To me, leadership is all about other people, helping them achieve their aspirations and alleviating their difficulties so that they can take flight in freedom without fear. Using a favorite analogy, I've often said that as leaders, we are like caring gardeners who tend their flower beds with love and care and firmness all at the same time, enabling the seed of talent and capability to germinate and grow to bear great flowers and fruits, while preventing the weeds of selfishness or indifference from taking root. Again, for me, the one aspect of Rotary that is unique, one of a kind, is our avenue of vocational service. Now, I know you had a memorable presentation on this from past President Bichai this morning. And I mention it again because I feel very strongly about vocational service, what it means to each of us in our own lives in terms of integrity, sincerity, and honesty. An architect friend of mine had spent his career designing homes and building them for a major housing company to sell in Mumbai, where I come from. Incredibly, construction costs there are among the highest in the world. My friend went to his boss one day after 35 years of service and said he wanted to retire to spend more time with his family. He would miss his fat paychecks, yes, but he would manage to get by. His boss was sorry to see him go, but asked him to design and build just one more house as a personal favor. It would take about 4 to 6 months, as they often do in India. And though my friend agreed, his heart was not really in his work. As a result, the design was inferior, the materials used were poor, and the workmanship was shoddy. When the house was done, the boss came to inspect the place and said, "This is your home," he said to my friend. "This is the company's gift to you for your years of hard work." and then handed him the keys. Well, what a surprise and what a shock. If my friend had known only that he was building his own house, he would have done it so differently. Now he would spend his life in a home he had not cared to build properly. And so it is with many of us. We sometimes build our lives in a distracted way, reacting instead of acting, willing to put up with less than the best. And then with a shock we look at what we have created with a lack of commitment and integrity and find that we have to live in a home that we could have built much better. That is what vocational service does for us. Almost unnoticed, it helps us live our lives as role models. Quite simply, that's what makes Rotary unique. Let me remind you of the two other priorities for our year. Continue to do those things we are doing well and which must be done, and change those things that need to be changed, starting with our own selves when needed. This evening, my dear fellow Rotarians, let us recognize too our greatest assets, our spouses and partners whom we have with us tonight. I can tell you from my own personal experience that mine is not only both my helping hands, but also my tender companion, my guide, the person who always pushes me forward when the going is good, and who always holds my hands when things look tough. And at all times, I may also add, she is quite a handful. But it's our partner who helps us as a companion, softening some of the sharper corners, providing the tranquility when needed, and the inspiration to meet the challenges when we face them. Go on, hold their hands, you will make a great team together. And at the same time, let me assure you, it will mean much to Rotary. It's been said that the most glorious moments of your life are not the so-called days of success, but those days that you feel within you, the response to rise to a challenge and the promise of future accomplishments. You would have found out by now that I'm a bit of a storyteller. And as we come to the close of this very special evening tonight, please permit me one final story from the days of the Second World War. Wanda Bulick, shown here, was 18 only when a conductor approached her on a train in Poland during the height of the war. He asked her to take care of an abandoned 3-year-old Jewish boy found traveling alone, whose photograph she's holding here. Without hesitation, the young lady, not Jewish herself, convinced a young police officer who was in love with her to pose with her as the boy's parents, and devoted the next 4 years to sheltering him. Now, this was a time when occupiers had overrun the country and were busy rounding up the Jews to send them to the concentration camps. Anybody harboring a Jew ran terrible risks themselves. Well, this lady, young Wanda Bulick, was apparently an ordinary person herself, as she reached out to one individual and embraced him, even at personal risk. Indeed, I suppose she embraced all humanity because she dared to get involved for what she thought was right. It was one Mother Teresa, a small, frail lady from Albania who came to Kolkata, India, to give new hope to thousands stricken and the downtrodden over there. It was one Albert Schweitzer from Germany who spent his life caring for hundreds of people in the darkest corners of Africa. And it was just one Greg Mortensen from America who worked for educating children in schools at the risk of his life in the toughest and the roughest mountains of Afghanistan to give them new hope of a better future. In this indifferent world, we tend to avoid getting involved. Rotary teaches us to get involved when it comes to humanity. And you are the leaders who know what that means. After all, humanity is your business. Enjoy your involvement. It will become the key factor to Rotary embracing the world. Every single thing you have experienced, every moment of the journey you have come through so far, were all to prepare you for this moment right now. Imagine the power you have within you, not in terms of authority, but the power to do good. Look at the change that you can bring and consider the destiny that you can create. Remember, each human being is created, backed by a set of supporting genes coded within. Expressed in scientific terms, it is the DNA of your personality. Every organization, too, has a DNA. And Rotary has its own DNA made up of its objective, its mission, and its vision. If your DNA matches with the DNA of Rotary, you find it is natural to accept the philosophy, the ideals of Rotary, and dedicate yourself to it. We do it because that is where you feel you will find the best in life with a deep sense of satisfaction. As you reach within yourself, you will find the presence of a small voice that cannot be heard by the outside ears. The presence of a small light which cannot be seen by outside eyes. To hear that voice, your heart is the ear, and to see that light, your mind is the eye. These are no ordinary voice or light, small as they may be, but as they encompass the infinite power that will manifest through the heart and the mind, and your body will feel the awakening of a new magnetism, a new spirit, a new energy, indeed a new way of looking at life itself. You might ask, how does one touch or embrace humanity? It is so large, so varied, so diverse, so spread out. Humanity is composed of each human being, and your embracing one person or a cause that helps one person will have the ripple effect to spread to the entire society, embracing all of humanity. That creativity is within you. It is part of your nature, and you have to let nature take its own course. Let your creativity reach the heights never touched before. You can do that when you reach within, listening to that little voice and following that even smaller light, when no pulls and pressures of the world can deflect you. This will become a part of your personality as you spend this year of leadership, which will give you every opportunity to rediscover yourself, reveal to you your inner strength, lift you up as you follow your own life's journey. Your mind is the motivator of action that distinguishes a human life from any other living being. Please remember that your heart is the home of compassion, motivator of emotions, just as physiologically it is the center of your life. And when I speak of passion and emotions, I can't resist in sharing with you just one final quote from Mother Teresa, who said, "At the end of our lives, we'll be judged not by how many diplomas we have received, how much money we have made, or how many great things we have done. We will be judged by, I was hungry and you gave me food to eat. I was naked and you clothed me. I was homeless and you took me in. In India, when we meet another person, we greet him or her by folding our hands like this and saying Namaskaram, which in the ancient language of Sanskrit means, I greet the divine in you. There is divinity in each one of us. Touch it, contact it, communicate with it. The divinity will manifest itself. The inner self will no more be thinking of just self, but will be ready to embrace all humanity. It will be Vinod's and my privilege to work with you, to share this great adventure in service through Rotary. You will be in our thoughts and in our hearts always. As you return home, we pray that you travel safely. Let us think of the peace and understanding that we must bring to this world of ours. Let us think that there is a latent goodness everywhere that needs to be touched by our inspiration. Let us reach within to embrace humanity. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Chalo.